So there has to be a way to get from the lower end of that graph that I just showed to the higher end of the graph that I just showed. So to do that, we would use what we call a data management pipeline. And data management pipelines are just like any other business process, except this is geared toward completely the care and feeding of this information that's flowing through your organization. So here's a picture to start. We have on the left side this data management process. And the data management process is feeding toward visualization of data and then the analysis of the data. So if we follow along, we have to get the data and record it somehow. We have to do extraction, we have to do cleaning, we have to do annotations sometimes with data. Then integrating the data together, aggregating the results and representing the data properly. And that feeds into a visualization piece that can be used to do interpretation and feed into the interpretation module. But on the analysis side, we have the modeling and the analysis that we do in the system. And out on the other end is improved results. It has information for decision making and so forth. And we can feed our interpretations back into the data management plan. So data acquisition is where we go and get data from many different sources. So flat files or text documents that we talked about, or we will talk about with Excel. Flat files are like lists and CSV files, or just simple tab separated or pipe separated files. Configuration files, log files, and so forth. Spreadsheets have data in them that we may need to collect. Logs in a Windows system, or logs in a network system like on a router. Cloud stored data, things that are stored in the cloud, and database stored data, things that are stored on a local database. All of these are important. And we have to know where those sources might be in order to gather them. So the next thing is extracting the data from those sources. We've identified them and we've acquired data from those sources, but now we have to ensure we can actually extract the data from those sources in those various locations and clean it up to make sure it makes sense to our business and our core business. So moving the data into a well-known location for future use is the end of this extraction piece. And then we start integrating things together, aggregating things, and representing things in a very particular way. So this is when we're making data accessible for others to use. We're putting it in a relational database, we're putting it in a non-relational NoSQL database, we're putting it into a data warehouse or a particular cloud storage location. So then reporting and visualization allows us to create reports about what is, the things that exist out there now, and then create visualizations about what is. So by doing that, we're simply reporting on the data that we have currently. We're not doing analysis on it. We might be doing some aggregations and some sums and summaries and things like that, but we are not doing analysis yet. When we start doing analysis, that is when we do the modeling and the predictive analysis, and then we do interpretation of results. And all of these things can feed back into the data management part of the pipeline, and that process can continue over and over again.